we're commemorating what we call the International Coastal Cleanup Day. This cleanup exercise is a global thing. It falls on the third Saturday of every September, and likely in the Gambia, we're going to commemorate the day come this Saturday. But as a custodians of the, when it comes to environmental matters in the Gambia, the National Environment Agency, we cannot do it alone. So we have to partner with our stakeholders, particularly those who have a responsibility when it comes to the management, protection, and the development of our marine and coastal environment. And this is why Power is here today, because they are key stakeholder when it comes to the development of the marine environment. Because as we know, they have a vessel which is generating or which is supplying electricity, and this is anchored in the marine environment. So this is why we get to them, and they are here today to show their solidarity with us. I'm not going to say what their intention is, but they said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. They can tell us why they are here. But let me give you a brief background of this International Coastal Cleanup. Like I said, it is coming this Saturday, and we know the importance of our marine environment, both to the livelihood and also to the socio-economic development of any nation that is a coastal state. But every year we realize that millions of tons of garbage is washed on shore, and this is caused by ourselves because we dump those garbage into the environment. And you know, anything you put in the marine environment, it doesn't need it. It has to bring it back on shore, and it becomes an eyesore on the beaches. So 30 years ago, some volunteers, particularly Ozone Conservancy, they came together with the sole purpose of cleaning the beaches. And as time goes on, it became a beacon of hope, gathering volunteers all around the world, cleaning the environment. If the trash is left in the marine environment, we know how devastating it is to the ecosystem there, killing most of these emblematic species like the dolphins, the turtles, the dugongs, the seals, and millions of our fisheries resources. So this is why we come together every year to commemorate this day. Thank you.
I think this is a welcome gesture on behalf of the executive director who will not make it up because of the short. But the fact is, as he said, I don't want to repeat what he has said, but key things he mentioned is that protecting the environment is everybody's business. Particularly if you are gaining your livelihood within the environment, it is important for us to work together to protect the environment where we are making our living. And beside that also, we have to understand that God created this thing. We are humans, we are higher, but there are also elements that also survive on this environment. And it is important for us to also protect them, because they cannot protect themselves in a way, particularly when it comes to some of the waste that we deposit in the sea. He mentioned key things that we affect the dolphins, all other marine life, but it is also important what we put there, particularly some of these toxic things that we put there end up coming to ourselves, because we normally use this fish, we normally make best use of it in terms of our dieting. So what an environment will call toxic soup, you pollute the sea, the fishes will consume, and eventually you buy that good fish, whatever you may call it, whether tilapia. I don't think the tilapia survive in the marine ecosystem. But other fish that we buy in the beaches, which are they look nice, but they already have those kind of in their tissues, and we eat them, and in what we call persistent organic pollutants. They are accumulated within the fish, and they come to us. Also, we consume it. It's not going to be a poisonous thing that will kill you immediately, but it's going to be there with you over time. And before you realize it has gone beyond thresholds and affecting us. And sometimes, because here, The thing is, whatever happens, we always say God, 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 God. And if you go to a hospital when you die, I don't think if there are any, but there's no, we don't ever receive why the person died. In most cases, whatever God decided it has to happen. But if you really analyze some of these things, maybe some of these things are associated with our way of life. And that is because we normally pollute our environment, particularly the ecosystem and any terrestrial or atmospheric. All of us back come to us. So you coming as a social, corporate social responsibility to keep in trying to clean this is a highly, and then that is a very important thing that, and we expect other institutions to emulate, because this thing is not a small thing for us. But as I say, whatever you do, yes, the NA is the custodian of managing the environment, but you are protecting yourself. I normally say in Fora, don't think that when disaster comes or any environmental problem comes, it will know that this one is working in NA, or this one is working, or this is the polluter. You, the polluter, may be the first person. And sometimes we have to leave a legacy that our children will cherish. That's very, very important. Even you sleep in your mosque or in your churches, if you don't do something, if you leave a certain bad legacy, all the good are not. You may do very good, but that bad thing almost overcome whatever good thing you do. Yeah, some who are very objective will be ready to tell, yeah, he has done A, B, and D, but maybe in the long run, the kids may not have that time. They'll tell our dad have failed us, or our moms have failed us when they were here. So it is, for me, I have to thank you very much on behalf of the Executive Director, Mr. Morjama Sware, who could not make it up. But it is something that we cherish, and we hope we should work together to protect our ecosystem, particularly marine ecosystem. I thank you very much for your coming.
Just a brief background. I believe some of you already know. In February of this year, 2018, NAWEC and karpowership, signed a PPA, power purchase agreement, and 2 months later, we were able to connect our 36 megawatt powership to the Gambian national grid. In May of this year, we started generating power in the country. And over time, I believe most of us have seen and also felt the positive impact that it has brought into the country. We used to have very erratic power supply in the country, and I think over time we are gradually taking care of it as a company and as a partner of NAWEC. And we see this as a very important event because corporate social responsibility is a matter that we take very seriously as a company, both in the areas of environment and education and other areas. It is a very important area, and we believe we should strongly partner with you, collaborate with you to make sure that we do what we can to ensure that we have a safe environment for all of us, and as Mr. Baji said, for our future generations to come. In fact, I really like the analogy that he brought in, looking at the fact that if we pollute our environment, what happens is there are other living things there that might consume some of those pollutants. And as a result, because we live interdependently, we might end up consuming some of those animals or fish. Whatever disease they come up with, it's a possibility that we also catch such diseases. So as I said earlier, we are very happy to come here. Since we were informed about this event from the head office in Istanbul down here, we thought it is very important that we form part of the group that is fighting this environmental pollution. We want to partner with you not only financially, but I also want to state that we'll be there physically with you, with some of our staff, so that we do this together. We recognize the fact that this is really very important. And as a result, it's just a token. It's not much. It's roughly about $2,000 minus the transfer fees, about $89,100. That's what we have here exactly. And we are operating in different countries around the globe. And we have been doing this. This is a practice that we make sure we always do, that is supporting as far as social responsibility is concerned. We are currently producing over 2,800 megawatts in different countries. And the 30 megawatts that we are producing here, it's for a 2-year contract with the possibility of extension if the need still is there. We want to thank you very much as a partner. We have so many agencies we work with, and definitely NEA is a very important partner. We know the environmental impact assessment that we did for us. We are very grateful for the relationship, and hopefully we'll continue to work together and support each other, because we are in this together. We are very happy, and on behalf of my company, Karpowership, I want to thank you all and assure you that we'll continue to support you in any way we can. Thank you so much.
On the very day, we have 4 different locations where we're going to conduct this cleanup exercise. One is in Banjul, from the port area coming down to Atlantic area, Atlantic Hotel, just behind Atlantic Hotel. And the second point is the Bakau Fish Landing site. The third is the Senegambia stretch from where Cabanas is coming towards the Monkey Park. And finally is the Tangier Fish Landing site. But this is the central location. From there, others will be at these different sites. So this is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we heard what Mr. Mambure highlighted. And actually, since we also started engaging with Kappa, they have been very much responsive. We know the EIA took place, and then there are a lot of process that took place, but eventually they were very responsive. They are very law-abiding in terms of following all the necessary requirements before they operate, which was highly cherished by the National Environment Agency, and that we want, because together we can protect our environment for the present and future generation. And in addition also, we felt that those who partnered with us also have to be seen. So in the process also, there will be some printing of T-shirt, the banner of which your logo will be featured, so that people know what you are doing in the country. Not only by alleviating the current electricity supply, but also trying to involve yourself in protecting our environment for the present and future generation of this country. So we really cherish your assistance there. Thank you.